Character of Washington by Edward Everett. There are but 3 individuals upon whom mankind, with some approach to general consent, have bestowed the epithet of the Great. Shall we compare our Washington for a moment with each of them? Shall we compare them with Peter the Great of Russia, who flourished in the beginning of the century, and hewed that political colossus of that north into form and symmetry? A sovereign of vast, though often most ill-directed energy, a fearless and on some occasion a beneficent reformer, a consummate organizer, who with some kind of rough tact truly felt the pulses of national life in the titanic frame which he called into being, pursuing in a few grand ideas, though often by eccentric methods bordering on madness, but with a resolution which no labors could weary and no dangers appall, enforcing them with an iron will upon an unsympathizing and apathetic people. They are his titles to the epithet of great, but with them all he was an unmitigated tyrant, the murderer, perhaps the torturer of his own son, a man who united the wisdom of a philosopher and the policy of a great prince with the tastes of a satyr and manners of a barbarian, and the passions of a fiend, guilty of crimes so hideous and revolting that if I attempted to describe them, I should drive you shrieking down this hall. You surely would not permit me to place the name of Washington in comparison with his. Or shall we compare him with Frederick II of Prussia, to whom complacent public opinion has also accorded the epithet of great? He was no doubt a military and civil genius of the first order. By the energy of his character he built up a kingdom scarcely known by the title which he had came to the throne, and of a first-rate power, the fearless soldier, the profound strategist, the heroic chief, nor less a master of political combination, a zealous promoter of the material prosperity of his subjects, who doubled the population of this little kingdom and increased all the resources in more than the same proportion, notwithstanding the wars in which he was continually involved, but at the same time a pedant, ostentatious, and superficial literary attainments, a wretched poet-taster, a dupe of the insipid adulation of godless foreign wits, who flattered him to his face and ridiculed him to his back, a German sovereign who yet preferred to write and speak poor broken French, in which Voltaire said there was not a sentence which you would not know to be the language of a foreigner, a prince raised by Providence in the bitter school of adversity to the absolute throne, entertaining the most exalted ideas of the kingly prerogative, drawing everything, even the administration of justice, into the arbitrary decentralization, who had yet trained his undevout heart to believe that blind chance or blind destiny occupies the throne of the universe, that the heavens and earth could do without a god, though the paltry electorate of Brandenburg could not do without a king, and that while it was impossible for him to hold out the scattered provinces of his little realm together without a daily outgoing of civil, military, and judicial power. Moved by one intellect and one will, could yet believe that the systems and systems which compose the universe, beyond the powers of human speech to enumerate, or human thought to conceive, are thrown out into one vast anarchy, wheeling and hurtling through the regions of space without a lawgiver and a head. So thinking, and so believing while he lived, when he came to die, in order to mark more emphatically his contempt for the species to which he belonged, instead of allowing his poor old carcass, as he himself called it, to be laid by the side of his kindred, ordered that it should be buried with his favorite dogs at Potsdam. Or shall we compare Washington with the third greatest of his age, the illustrious captain of the last generation in France? France, that portentous blazing star which began to flame in the eastern sky as our benignant luminary was sinking in the west amidst the golden clouds of a nation's blessing? I have no wish to trample on the memory of Napoleon I, whom I regard by no means as the most ambitious of conquerors, the most arbitrary of despots, or the worst of men. The virtues and the feelings, like the talents, the opportunities, and the fortunes of this extraordinary man, are on too colossal a scale to be measured by ordinary standards of morality. The prevalent opinions in this country of his character and career have come to us through a British medium, discolored by a national prejudice and the deadly struggle of a generation, or by natural reaction have been founded on a panegyric of grateful adherents and admiring subjects, who deem every Frenchman a partner in the glory of their chief. Posterity and impartial history will subdue the lights and relieve the shadows of the picture. They will accord him a high, perhaps the highest rank among the great masters of war, placing his name upon an equality with the three great captains of our antiquity, if not above them. We will point to his code as a noble monument of legislation and wisdom. We'll dwell upon the creative rigor which he brought order out of the chaos of revolution, retrieving the dilapidated finances and restoring the prostrate industry of France. We'll enumerate the harbors, the canals, the bridges, the public buildings, the alpine roads, the libraries, the museums, and all the thousands of works of industrious peace and productive art. Will not withhold their admiration for the giant grasp of his genius and the imperial grandeur of his fortunes, nor deny a tribute of the human sympathy to which his calamitous decline and fall, but the same impartial history will record more than one ineffable stain upon his character. And never to the end of time, never on the page of a historian, poet, or philosopher, never till a taste for true moral greatness is eaten out of the hearts of men by means of admiration of success and power, never in his exhortations of the prudent magistrate council his fellow citizens for their good, never in the dark ages of national fortune, when anxious patriots explore the annals of the past for examples of such public virtue, never in the admonition of a parent forming the minds of his children by lessons of fireside wisdom. Never. Oh, never will the name of Napoleon, nor any of the other of the famous conquerors of ancient and modern days, be placed upon a level with Washington's. And while we are on the 22nd of February, celebrate with solemn and joyous rites the great anniversary of our Washington, our fellow citizens on the Hudson, on the Potomac, from the southern plains to the western lakes, are engaged in the same offices of gratitude and love. Nor we, nor they alone, beyond the Ohio, beyond the Mississippi, along the stupendous trail of immigration from east to west, which, bursting into states as it moves westward, is already threading the western prairies, swarming through the portals of the Rocky Mountains, and winding down their slopes. The name and the memory of Washington, on that gracious night, will travel with the silver queen of heaven through 60 degrees of longitude, nor part company with her till she walks in her brightness through the golden gates of California, and passes serenely on to behold midnight court with her Australian stars. There, and there only, in barbarous archipelagos, as yet untrodden by civilized man, the name of Washington is still unknown. And there too, when they swarm with enlightened millions, new honor shall be paid with ours to his memory.